Welcome back to Coffee Spills and Pineapples. In this episode, we talk to Laura Fried, an artist all the way from France. Hi, Laura. Welcome to our podcast.
Hi, Rafi. Thank you for the invitation.
I'm really happy that we connected and we met at the exhibition that you were having here. So, you're in a residency program and you live in a village. I mean, we're talking about a village, not the one that you know in France, but a village in Armenia, which is completely different. Can you just explain to us your everyday life and your expectations and the reality that you faced?
We are invited for a 3 month residency in Araks village.
Araks.
Araks, it's 1 hour from Yerevan, and it's near the Turkish border.
It's on the border.
It's on the border. It's
Right.
the last village. 2,000 inhabitants, I
Mhm.
think. Most of them are farmers. They all have a greenhouse, a garden. They are cultivators. They cultivate vegetables, green stuff, and sell it. And
Is that what you were expecting when they told you village when you were coming to Armenia?
yes, they already explained, and
I
it
see.
was really interesting for me and for my friend. We work together. We are
Yes.
collaborating since 6 years now, and we have a project about farming and landscapes in the south of France. It's like an investigation. We are looking for a big machine, a harvest combiner that disappeared in the 80s.
We are now in France. This
We
is
are now
what
in
you're doing.
France.
I see.
It's the beginning of our project because I'm not from a farmer family. It's not my first interest.
And is Kevin?
No,
Not
no,
either.
neither.
Okay.
Neither. We found this history of this harvest combiner, which is buried, and we already were interested in history, memory, transmission. What we choose to transmit to for the future, what we let in the history. Monuments, ruins, a main common interest with Kevin, and this story was a good starting for this investigation.
I wanted to say it's like you're telling the story of this machine
Yeah,
and with it the people that used it and the land how it was.
yes, the beginning is the machine, but it became like a social investigation. We started to find many, many histories and how the landscape is transformed and how the farmers are building the landscape. It's a way of understanding. And so here in Araks, it's very interesting for us to meet farmers, and we are not checking like differences. We are like searching what is their main history, main changes, main difficulties also.
So the search is the same, but it doesn't have to be a comparison.
Yes, absolutely.
How does that become a visual storytelling, an artwork, an installation? Is it one work? Are there many works that come out of this?
Yeah, it's the very good question because it's very hard to show an investigation. We use different tools. We have like a toolbox, we say. We have camera, recorder, and also we make like prints with materials that we show is more like sculpture, installation with video in it, with sound also.
One of the works that I
Yeah.
saw was metal sheets,
Yeah.
rusted and worn, superimposed with other sheets, like other material sheets. And then there was a video projection on it. So is that more or less the kind of work, or is that just this one piece?
This piece is particular because it's one artwork in a collective exhibition. We already made 3 exhibitions, and 2 of them were solo shows. So we use all the space to show our work. So it's more installation, but in the space. And here in the festival, the Alternative Art Festival in the NEPAC, we show like a frame, like
Yeah, just
something
one
like
snapshot.
yeah. But what's interesting for us is to combine materials and video projection also, and it's like layers, and these layers are like our layers of comprehension, of understanding, of memory also put together and try to tell a story.
When we talk about art and becoming an artist, for everyone it's different. And for you, when was that aha moment that you said, I want to be an artist? Did it just gradually happen and you became one, out of the blue? I don't know.
No, I don't think it's like popping like
Ah,
this.
yes.
It's a process. I confess, I grew up in an artistic family. My father is a craftsman. He works with wood and he's a builder.
Mm,
And he used to be an artist somehow. My mother used to work in literature for youth,
that's right.
so
Okay.
illustrators,
Hmm.
and so I in the house, and also my grandfather was
So
an engraver.
creativity was everywhere.
Yeah, I was like in it. I wanted to make so many things in my life. When I had to choose studies, I was like, I want to do so many stuff. I want to be a journalist. I want to travel. I want to build. I want to be teacher. I want to be many things. And I think a teacher encouraged me to apply for a fine art school. I made these studies, and it was really 5 years really open-minding. I discovered many things. I was like
To
to
some
go.
extent, I can see the work that you do as an artist. So it's not just an aesthetic arts. You've incorporated the research part, you've incorporated the storytelling and the teaching part, because I feel like coming to your exhibitions would be learning about the whole society and ways of doing things and the land and the people and traditions. So there's the learning part. There's also, for you, I guess, the research part, which is very clever, I might say. As an artist, you've sort of incorporated all the things you wanted to do in the early times.
Yes, it's a way of having many works, and
Yeah.
I can include many knowledge and many things I'm interested in. Also, yes, the collaboration part is really important to me.
Hmm.
I really love discovering that art is not just art in a museum. It's not just a frame on a wall in a museum. And my way of making art, I think, is to opening the doors of
Yeah.
the exhibition space
So
and
it's
not
both
being just.
multi-genre, but it's multidisciplinary, perhaps. This is the kind of work that you would do?
Yes, also, I'm not like a specific medium. I'm not a sculptor, I'm not a painter, I'm not a video maker, I'm many things.
All of it. Also, you're also all of these.
I don't like that speciality thing. I'm not specialist. I'm
I
not an
see.
expert.
Hmm.
I'm like a DIY learning.
So it's experimental in some sense.
Yes, it's experimental. Yes,
Totally.
I think each artwork I make, each invitation I make is exercise. It's not like a final point of something. It's all my works are very different because after my studies, I started with specific spaces, making in situ installation. So you change
Yeah.
space each time, and each space has big history. So you are reacting with the space, but there is like a leader, something that crosses all my artworks. I think each one is an exercise to know what is this leader.
You work with space, you work with objects. I guess you also work with history of that space and the object. And the final result is a process, perhaps something that can be evolved.
Final result is mainly installation, stills, composition in space. Sometimes talk about who built the space. Think about the people that built the space you are evoluting in. Think about the emptiness. Think about the little details of the space. So I'm imitating a little bit the gestures of construction. I use plaster, concrete, wood, metal, and trying to use these techniques, but with a little step à côté.
Yeah, on the side,
On
the
the side,
sidelines,
yeah.
yeah, peripherals kind of approach
Yeah.
to it as well. Let me just jump to something completely different.
Hmm.
When the first time I read your name, Laura Fried, and it said Toulouse, France, so my first reaction was, oh, that's not a French name. Where does the name come from?
It's my father's name, and my
Hmm.
father is from London. He left when he was like 20, 25 years old. He lived in Paris and then meet a friend, and buy a house in the southwest of France in a very, very little village, like 700 people living there. And I grew up there. So that's the story of
I
my.
see.
Mhm.
So you ended up in a small village south of France.
Yeah,
And did that community and the fact that you were in a small community bring you to the realization that you wanted to study more about these kinds of smaller communities in the south of France first, and then maybe eventually elsewhere?
I think growing in a little village let me many, many space and freedom for as a child, starting experimenting, being in my father's studio, enjoy the landscape, and being like free like this. But as a teenager, I was really, really bored and really, really hungry, and I moved to Toulouse for my studies. After 10 years, I left and now I live in the countryside. I still have my studio in Toulouse, but I don't know. Now I cannot live in a big city anymore.
Interesting that you sought to go to the big city but then came back. Did this inspire you to do more digging of these smaller? Because how did you end up looking for a tractor, a buried machine?
I'm not an artist every day. I work to earn money. As many, many artists, we have many different works. And so I usually work to set up exhibition. I'm a helper, technician for set up exhibition. And I worked in a photo festival
Yes.
in the southwest of France. It's called L'été photographique de Lectoure, a
Hmm.
very important photography festival. I stayed there like 3 months and I met Kevin, and together we have a friend which is a farmer. He's a farmer and baker. And he has a really good approach of his work. He's cultivating little fields with old seeds, and he's transforming. He's making bread after. We became friends, and he told us about this history. He was like the first contact with his history. We continuously go to see him. He's our reference. It's really interesting because he now lives in the house that where the man buried his machine. So it's like a proactive project, I think.
He's become part of the project,
Yes,
basically.
yes, yes. He's the main character of the
Yeah,
project.
that's interesting.
Yeah.
It was by chance that you met this guy and he told you about his work and the story, and then you became more interested in digging deeper. And now it's become maybe your passion project.
Yes, it's and also it's a project that now has good way. It's in very fluid, and we have many ideas. Now being here 3 months to work on it is very precious. We never have 3 months for concentrating on one
Because you're in a
research
residency and
because
it's
we
a
are in a
yes.
residency, and it's very very precious. Now is the main project I have, but I also continue my personal work.
If you're enjoying this episode, follow us on Spotify or subscribe to our YouTube channel.
I wanted to say something about being available. You say it's like you somebody told you and then it's going, and yes, I think many projects start like this. Well, to me it's like you are available and all your research leads to one point, and sometimes you are like, this story I have to dig.
You have to be available in the sense of having the time, having the mindset to allow a new project to come in. And then when the time was right and you heard this story, it just became something of a passion and you continued.
Yeah, it was progressive because when we heard the story, 1 year passed mm, after, and we started to investigate. It was like something resisting in your mind. You're like, yes, I heard this story, but shall we make something? It's crazy. And so after thinking it's resisting, it's staying. Even when you close your eyes, it's staying. And so you have to do something, but it takes time, and it took many time, and we were really available for that. We came to this village like once a month during 2 years without doing anything, just investigating, asking questions, inviting people, talking about this history. The first exhibition we made was in 2023, 2 years ago. So it's a large project. It's
Yeah.
very progressive.
You said 6 years. You've been on it for
Yeah.
6 years. So is there a climate component to this, like an environmental component to this project particularly, or is it more like a sociological dig into the people and the artifacts, the objects, and the places.
Yeah, it's very experimental. Une enquête performative.
Okay, it's a performative research, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah, discovery.
it's like we are investigating, but with our sensibilities.
Senses, with your senses,
Yes,
right?
and we are like creating situation with people. We are not like this. We are not
Yeah, yeah,
in an interview like, oh, what is the story of this machine?
right.
It's more like we
It's more
heard about
organic.
yeah
It's
we heard
just
about
grows.
somebody that has a forest and that machines are in the forest, so we ask him to visit the forest, and so we walk like 2 hours visiting the forest, and he talks about what disappeared in the forest. Somebody say, oh, I have something to tell you, and invite us to eat, and there is music, and we help cooking, or somebody has something to do, we help working, and that's how we go to the information.
Your discoveries happen this
Yeah,
way.
like quietly, like living the experience, and then information comes.
I want to touch upon something you said earlier on how, as an artist, you can't just do your art. You have to also have a side job or
Yeah.
work to live. The world as it is today, and how things evolve really quickly. What actually are the challenges that you, as an artist, because I think for each artist it's very different. But you, as an artist, what are the main challenges? Is it financial? Is it logistics? Is it inspiration? Is it what are the challenges that you have and you get stuck and you get frustrated with?
The main thing is to I used to say, to build time, create time for artworks, for working in your studio. And this is the main challenge, because we have financial issues. We don't have like one single work, but we try to find solution. The community friendship is really important.
Hmm.
And there is a beginning of solution. We started like more than 10 years ago to open a big studio in Toulouse. It's called Collectif IPN. I was still in my studies. I was in my fourth year, I think. 10, 12 people.
Wow,
We
that's
started to research a
awesome.
space,
Awesome.
and we find one. And so it was totally empty, and we spent like 2, 3 years working and renovating, installing electricity, plumbing, cleaning the space, and more artists came. And so now we are 25 people working in the same space.
So
Not
is it a gallery? Is it a cultural space? Just to
It's an independent space.
Mhm.
We don't have funds, we don't have support. We are creating our own economical system to earn the rent, to afford the rent, the charges, and we share the rent, we share the space, we share the tools. It's not a gallery, it's a studio.
It's more
It's a
studios. I
fabric.
see.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a fabric.
I
So
see.
we have a printing studio, a big space for wood and metal work, and each artist has his own space also. That's a great experience, because we are 25 people, not working together every time, but sometimes we have like little projects,
Collaborations here and there.
collaborations. Yeah.
I'm listening, through this podcast. I've been talking mostly to creators, people that create in every sense of the way. Inspiration is the driving force of my podcast, and every time I'm really finding myself in awe in front of what people are actually doing. And I really love this idea of coming together as a collective, no expectations. The whole point of being is to create that space that is totally independent for all the artists that are joining. And I wish to see more of this. Congratulations on this. I would imagine this being a big pineapple for you.
Kind of,
Yeah.
yes, because we started and we didn't know how long it's going to stay. We were thinking about 2 years, 3 years, and
Yeah.
now it's like 12 years.
12 years. Fantastic.
And this is a very good space. People know, we create many events. Now residencies, also concerts,
So people, public
exhibitions.
public can go and
Sometimes, yes,
participate. Yeah.
sometimes to see our work or invitations, but it's a studio. But it's very organic. Sometimes we make many things, sometimes we are like tired.
12 years. I mean,
Yeah,
there's
but
ups and downs. Talking about collaboration, I think you had mentioned at some point that you're collaborating also with an Armenian artist you met or discovered during the exhibition.
yes, during the opening there was a performance, a sound performance, and with Kevin we are used to collaborate. And first we started two, and then Mathieu Sanchez came, another artist, started to make videos, and the sound artist Ruben, and many people can enter the project. Here we met Vardan. He's a musician, mathematician. He likes frequencies. He likes the sound as the
Sound,
material,
yeah.
and it's really interesting for us to collaborate with a musician here. Also because we are not a good technician in it, and also because it's really interesting to, it's like printing also, collaborating. We are already collaborating in the village. We spend all this week working with Manouk, which is a metal builder. He repairs everything, and he helped us to build a metal frame for the exhibition we are making in August in Nepak.
You're coming back in August.
3 months are researching and starting producing, and then we come back in August.
So we talked about the big pineapple, the big success. Or is there something else you wanted to mention as a pineapple?
No, I think this one is a good one. I just wanted to say maybe that it's the beginning of a solution for challenges. Collaborating and creating this studio, it's yes, trying to find a solution to our artistic issues, artistic situation.
The situations, are they coffee spills, like small coffee spills here and there, and coming
Yes.
together to find solution is the pineapple?
Maybe it's more confused and more in between. I don't know if there is something absolutely successful and something absolutely failure.
Yeah.
I think both are
A
working
mix of
together.
everything.
Yeah.
A pineapple tasting sweet coffee. That would be an interesting thing to taste. And I'm glad that you're tasting this on a procedural way. But how about coffee spills? I mean, throughout your creative process, were there things that didn't go the way you wanted them, or you created something and it wasn't really the outcome you were seeking? And that for me is a coffee spill that leads to I'll do it again, or I just don't want to deal with this.
I think I have one, and this is all about what is an exhibition for me is an adventure. You start with an idea, you start with a discussion, you're talking with curator, with other artists, and it's an adventure. And so to be complete and to be good, you have to live this adventure. And once I was invited for an exhibition and I didn't have time to produce a new artwork, a new piece, and so I just let one piece I already made.
An existing
and
piece.
Yes, and they set it up for me. I couldn't go to the montage just for the opening, and actually the exhibition was good, but the adventure wasn't there, and I was like, I never want to work like this again.
The experience was flawed for
Yeah,
you.
that's it.
Yeah.
I think we can collaborate, but this experience was like a failure for me.
Yeah.
I don't want to work like this anymore.
I think we can see some of the work on your website as well.
Absolutely.
I want to thank you for the time that you gave and the inspiration that you've given me personally. And I hope that our audience are inspired by the tenacity of your work. And I think the most important part here is that collective and the collaboration work that you do. So thank you for being here. It was a pleasure talking with you.
Thank you.
If you enjoyed this episode and would like to support us, follow us either on Spotify or subscribe on YouTube channel for more episodes from Coffee Spills and Pineapples.